Hello and welcome to United Bloodline. I'm Danny.
I'm Mike.
He's me dad.
This is me son.
And we're here to talk all things United. Now I'm excited for this game, Dad. United Burnley at Turf Moor. I think for the first time in a few games, United go in favourites. We should be winning this game off the back of, how we've just played against Bayern. United are favourites, and I'm excited at the prospect of going, you know what? United, we should be scoring a few goals. We've got some players back, which will be going into in just a short moment. But we should be winning, and we need to win against Burnley.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree, Danny. I think United have got to be the favourites. You really look at Burnley's form over the last few games. So, they've been leaking goals as well. And they've only drew one and they've got beaten in 3 games. So, obviously, and I think United, with the experience and the talent in the squad, I think we can certainly get a win.
Yeah, I think not that I want to go there, but there's always the possibility. At the end of the day, it's football. It's at Turf Moor. There's always the possibility of it not going in United's favour, and there being the other side. Burnley get a win. If Burnley win, I think that's then the time where the key really starts to turn on Ten Hag, because he can't afford to lose against Burnley. Not in their form. Like you said, they got beat by City 3-0. They lost against Aston Villa 3-1. They lost against Tottenham 5-2. They all leaking goals. If United are leaking goals, then they're like a tap that you can't be fixed right now. And I think we expected a lot more them coming into the league based on how they played last season in the Championship. But they're leaking goals. And they got through the game against Forest with a draw, but we need to be winning that game. Otherwise, the pressure is really then on top of Ten Hag. I don't know what you think on that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel very comfortable, and I think there'll be quite a few players. Hopefully, will be coming back from.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
For injuries, obviously, Varane, Mason Mount.
And Rabat.
And Rabat as well. So, it's very difficult to say, but I think United, a couple of goals.
Yeah, well, we're going to go through that in a moment. I just want to talk about the incoming back into United. A lot was said about Mason Mount's first few games, but it'd be nice to have someone back in. It feels like he's been out for a while. You've got Varane, who ultimately is just the leaders of leaders. Although I don't think you can build a long-term future around Rafael Varane and Casemiro because of their age of them. They're still very experienced seasonal pros. And having Varane having Varane alongside Martinez is going to just solidify that straight away. And his leadership, his experience, and his connection with Casemiro. That was a big part of the success last season when they were playing together, especially those three, like the little triangle. You tell me really where there's a better triangle defensively in the Premier League, because that on paper and when they play well together, they are a formidable force defensively.
I think no matter what team you play in the Premiership, you have to put your work. And you have to match any team. Doesn't matter if it's Burnley.
Yep.
I mean, obviously Burnley are going to be up for this game. Obviously, and to be fair, we've got to match them, and we've got to be able to track back. This is where United have been leaking goals. Players have got to track back.
That's it.
And I'm confident that they will get this right.
Well, gone are the days of players who are so technically gifted where they don't have to do anything else other than get the ball and do some fancy things with it. Them days are gone. What you need now from a player, you look at Rashford, technically he's brilliant, but he needs to give more off the ball. That's what you want. Over everything, what I want from a player, first of all, is just a willingness to run and a commitment to say, I'm going to run myself into the ground, whatever happens in this game. Then secondly, that's where then I start thinking, well, okay, now do something for the team. All of the top teams, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, first thing as a priority, give my everything running on this pitch. Then second, I'll do some skills, Odegaard, Saka, for example. So, like you say, commitment has to be to the cause on that game on Saturday. And anything than 100%, anything less than that, United are going to come unstuck against a Burnley team who I think are going to also want that bounce back, who are going to want to put, a bit of misery to Ten Hag and United.
I think tactics are really important. Again, it's a completely different game to Bayern Munich. Before I was running with in pairs, but I believe now it's going to be Højlund up front with Rashford, and it'd be interesting to see who he puts on the other wing. But I think it's more of a direct approach.
Yeah, we'll go through that because we think Onana's going to start in goal. He's going to commit. We have to give him time. De Gea had a terrible start at United, and he was prone to the old mistake here and there. His hands sometimes weren't the safest place. I wouldn't envy a baby being held by them sometimes. But so Onana in goal, Dalot right back. I think you've got Varane and Martinez, and then you've got Reguilon, who I think has performed very, very well personally. Casemiro in there. I think Sofian Amrabat is there or thereabouts. So I'm going to go for him as a starter. And obviously then you've got your Bruno Fernandes, always a starter on paper, Rashford, Højlund, and it's just whether he goes with Palestri, Garnacho, Sancho seems he's still out of the equation. He's not even anywhere near. I think his days are really numbered at United. But I'm going to go Palestri.
Yeah, I mean, Palestri played really well against Bayern Munich.
He gives us everything, That's all you can ask. Yeah. Give us everything. And that comes down to it, again, is what I ask first of all of any player for United. Give you everything, run yourself into the ground, then skills secondary. That's what I care about, personally.
I think, we're talking about Bayern Munich, the situation, you need to keep your defence tight at the back.
Yeah.
And United have certainly got the pace to go forward. And if you've got to try and clean sheets, obviously you start leaking these stupid goals, and then you're putting pressure back on your team. Then you've got to try and outscore. So the key against Burnley is to keep it tight.
Yes, that's it. And then allow your attackers to do everything else on the other side of the pitch, and score the goals. Now, what's your score prediction? We're at Turf Moor, like I say. We're at Burnley. We're not at Old Trafford for this game, so it's not going to be an easy game. We can't be thinking that. I think we're going to win. But what's your score prediction?
Well, I think United 2-0.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go maybe a little bit wild. Maybe some fans think I'm in the clouds. But I think we're going to bounce back. I think we're going to put on a dominant display. Don't think it's going to be an easy game as such. But I think United, once they get a grip of it and those players come back in, I'm going for a United 4-0 win.
Well, it's optimistic.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Absolutely.
I like to think so, Dan. But I mean, providing you put a good performance in, keep a clean sheet at the back.
Yeah. And
it doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, 3-0, 4-0. It doesn't really matter. The main thing is you've got to keep clean sheets, and that's what we're going to have to do. And of course, our form away from home hasn't been exciting, so we need to address that as well.
Yeah, I'm just predicting United to get back into the rhythm of it now. I think, we've had a poor start to the season. The game against Bayern, we played well, I believe, in many aspects of the game. I think we're going to go to Burnley and we're going to give it them. We're going to give them a nice little beating there at Turf Moor. And we're going to show Company that he's not Premier League quality and he needs to get the sack and he needs to get in the Championship where he belongs, because he's no Pep Guardiola. Just because he's got no hair, he's no Pep Guardiola.
Well, no, but I mean, they've done well, Burnley. I mean, but I think that the teams that have come up this year, they're going to struggle, a couple of them, And I think Burnley will as well.
I thought Burnley might have come up this season and done far better than what they have, but they haven't. They've been very abysmal. So that's why I'm going for such a dominant display from United, because I think United are going to give one of these teams a good hiding. If you were watching a 12-round boxing fight, it's going to be a game where United are just going to be dominant for every single round. So I'm confident, I'm excited, I'm optimistic for the club and for Ten Hag and for the players to get back into the swing of it. Hopefully, our other United fans on the other side are. But I guess that's it. So I've been Danny.
I'm Mike.
And he is me dad.
And this is me son.
And we'll see you over on another video.